All right, settle in. This is a cozy one. Imagine this like a movie you don't want to end, the kind that leaves you smiling at nothing afterward. The table by the window. The coffee shop wasn't special in any obvious way. It had the usual things: mismatched chairs, a chalkboard menu written in optimistic handwriting, the low hiss of the espresso machine working overtime. Indie music played softly from somewhere near the ceiling, a song you almost recognized but didn't quite. Still, it felt like the kind of place where something important could happen. They arrived 10 minutes early, mostly out of nerves, mostly out of habit. They ordered a coffee they didn't really want, something safe, and chose the table by the window, the one that caught the afternoon light just right. Outside, people passed by with purpose. Inside, time moved slower. They checked their phone, no new messages. Relax, they told themselves, it's just coffee. The bell over the door chimed. They looked up without meaning to. The person who walked in paused just inside the doorway, eyes adjusting, scanning the room like they were searching for something familiar in a place they'd never been before. They looked a little nervous too, jacket half-zipped, hair slightly out of place, holding their phone a bit too tightly. Their eyes met. It wasn't dramatic, no lightning, no slow motions. Just recognition. A smile appeared, hesitant at first, then warmer, more certain. The kind of smile that says, oh, it's you. They stood at the same time, chairs scraping softly against the floor. Hi, one of them said. Hi, the other replied, breathless in a way that surprised them. For a moment, neither moved. Then they laughed quiet, relieved laughter, and stepped closer. I'm glad it's you, one said like it was a confession. Me too, came the answer, immediate and sincere. They ordered again, this time something indulgent, something warm, and returned to the table by the window. Sunlight stretched across the wood between them, filling the space with gold. At first, the conversation stayed safe. Where they were from, what brought them here, how surprisingly loud the espresso machine was. Small talk, gently unpacked, each answer opening the door to something a little more personal. But it didn't take long for the edges to soften. They talked about favorite books, about songs that felt like memories, about the strange comfort of rainy afternoons. One of them gestured a lot when they spoke. The other listened with their whole face, eyes bright, leaning in without realizing it. They noticed things. The way one stirred their coffee even when there was nothing left to mix. The way the other smiled before laughing, like they couldn't quite stop it in time. How comfortable silence felt when it appeared, not awkward, just easy. You're different in person, one said carefully. Oh, the other asked, better or worse? Better, they said, more real. That earned a soft smile, the kind that lingered. An hour passed unnoticed. Outside, the light shifted. Inside, cups emptied, then refilled. The coffee shop grew quieter as the afternoon crowd thinned, but neither of them seemed in any hurry to leave. At some point, one of them glanced at the clock and blinked. Well, I was supposed to be somewhere half an hour ago. Oh no, the other said, apologetic but secretly pleased. They hesitated, then do you have to go? They considered it, really considered it. No, they decided, I think this is where I'm supposed to be. That was the moment it changed. Not suddenly, gently, like a thought settling into place. So, one of them said, wrapping both hands around their cup, is this still just coffee? The other smiled, eyes warm, what do you think? I think, they said slowly, that if we leave now, I'll regret it. The silence fell, not empty, but expectant. Well, the other said, standing, there's a bookstore 2 blocks down and a park behind it. They raised an eyebrow. You're very confident for someone who just met me. I'm not confident, they admitted. I'm just hopeful. Oh, that did it. They paid at the counter, standing a little closer than necessary, shoulders brushing. When they stepped outside together, the air felt different, cooler, brighter, like the world had quietly rearranged itself. They walked side by side, not touching yet, but close enough to feel the warmth of the other. Conversation flowed more freely now, laughter easier, steps unconsciously matching pace. At the bookstore, they wandered between shelves, pointing out favorite authors, pulling books for each other like offerings. "Oh, you've read this?" one asked, impressed. "3 times," the other said. "It feels like home." The word home settled between them, gentle and meaningful. At the park, they sat on a bench beneath a tree just beginning to turn green. The city hummed around them, but softer here, filtered through leaves and distance. They talked about dreams then, not the polished kind, real ones. The ones that scare you a little when you say them out loud. They listened carefully, responded thoughtfully, like each dream mattered. At some point, their hands touched. Neither pulled away. Fingers brushed, then rested side by side, pinkies almost, but not quite entwined. The contact sent a quiet thrill through both of them, the kind that makes you smile without knowing why. "I'm really glad we met," one said softly. "Me too," the other replied. "This feels unexpected in the best way." The sun dipped lower, shadows stretched, the day lined toward evening. When it was finally time to go, when responsibility gently insisted, they stood reluctantly, brushing dirt from their clothes, lingering like neither wanted to be the first to leave. So one said, hopeful but calm, "Can I see you again?" The answer came without hesitation. "I'd like that a lot." They hugged, warm, unhurried, the kind of hug that fits just right. When they pulled back, they smiled at each other like they were already sharing a secret future. As they walked away in opposite directions, both of them glanced back once. And both of them smiled again. Because some days begin as accidents and end as beginnings. And sometimes, all it takes is a table by a window, a cup of coffee, and the courage to stay a little longer.